Well, I just got back from watching M. Night Shyamalan's new movie called Trap, and what can I say, M. Night, you have done it again. There are so many things I want to talk about with this movie because it is so beautifully bad. It is entertaining most of the time, not so much at the end, I'll get to that in a second, but most of the way through, it's so silly that it's fun to watch. And even though I have so much that I want to say about it, I actually think I should have been taking notes during the movie because there's still so much stuff I'm going to forget. For those of you who haven't seen the trailer, the movie is about this man that goes to a concert with his daughter, and he finds out that this concert has a lot of extra security today because turns out they know that a serial killer is actually attending this concert, so they have the place on lockdown to catch him whenever he shows up. And our main character, Cooper, is the serial killer that they're looking for. So you're following him, trying to find his way out of this predicament he's in. Now, I am going to have to get into spoilers whenever I'm talking about this movie because there's just so much stuff in here that I want to draw attention to, and unfortunately I just don't have any way of speaking about it without bringing in some pretty crucial details about the movie. But it has frustrated me beyond belief. I'm not angry or anything. I still had fun, but I had fun because of how bad the movie is, and I just want to talk about it so bad. So if you do have any interest in seeing this movie and you care about spoilers, I'd click off the video now because I'm about to get into a lot. So the first thing I want to talk about is how lucky our protagonist is. I mean, I don't know if you can really call him a protagonist because he is a bad person. He's a serial killer, but, our main character. He is actually not intelligent at all. He may be the stupidest serial killer ever portrayed on the big screen. It's actually pretty incredible. But he manages to get out of every situation just by sheer luck. It's actually insane. He either gets out by how dumb the other characters in the movie are, or just something working that really should not in any way. It's crazy. It's like whenever you're playing Hitman and you'll walk into a room wearing the Hitman's typical suit, and let's say you walk into a kitchen, for example. Sorry, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I just want to explain. Say you're playing Hitman, you walk into a kitchen in his regular suit, you stab a chef to death, you change into the chef's outfit, and then you walk out of the kitchen. And as you're walking out, a guard goes in behind you, and he watched you walk in the kitchen, right? So he sees the chef's naked body on the floor, and he sees a man walking out in a chef's outfit that he just saw walk in with a suit. And he goes, well, how did this happen? That's this movie in a nutshell. He's just constantly rolling nat 20s to throw a little D&D reference in there. It's just the most absurd things that he's getting away with because I don't know, God is on his side. I really can't explain how else this could be happening. One thing I do want to say is, I don't know, I think his name's Josh McHarnett. I'll look it up real quick to make sure I'm not wrong about that. Okay, I just looked it up. Sorry, it's not Mick Harnett. No Mick. His name is just Josh Harnett. I've never seen this man in anything else. I've never seen him play any other character besides this one that I just watched him play. He does play the serial killer, the main character in the movie. I don't know if he is just an incredibly bad actor, or if M. Night Shyamalan just gave him the worst dialogue to ever come to the big screen, but his performance is insufferable. He's in middle of conversations, he'll just pause for 30 seconds. It's like you're watching Dora the Explorer, and she's like, can you see the wolf? The fox? Swiper's a fox? My bad. You get what I'm saying. She's like, can you see it? And then she just stands there silent for 10 seconds. And then she's like, that's right. That's what this guy does. He'll say something and then he just smiles. And then he'll go back to the conversation. I get what they're going for, I think. He's a serial killer, so he's faking emotions and he doesn't fit in very well. But everyone else is just acting like this is normal. It makes no sense. So eventually he does get out of the concert, and don't worry, I'm not spoiling the ending because for some reason the concert is only the first half of the movie. I'll go ahead and say this. If there's one positive thing I can say about this movie, it's that you know how the people say the older you get, the faster time goes by. Like you want to savor the years that you have because they just keep going by faster and faster the older you get. Well, here's a little cheat for you. You can actually freeze time if you go into the theaters and watch Trap, I think, because the movie is less than 2 hours, and I felt like I was in there for 4 days. Anyway, he eventually gets out of the concert, and the story goes on from there. I won't get too much into it, just in case anybody does want to see it. But the way that he gets out of the concert makes no sense to me because he blackmails somebody basically. He's not blackmails, but basically he's like hey, get me out of here or I'm going to kill this man, right? So he puts him in a moral dilemma here. Here's the thing. This man is a serial killer. This isn't a one-time thing. So I understand she doesn't want that man's blood on her hands or whatever. But if anybody was in that situation where they had the choice, they're like, I can either save this one man and let this serial killer go, or I can lock the serial killer up for life and save all of his future victims. Who would not tell someone? Like, she actually helps him get out. And just... Oh, God. The movie also tries to do this thing over and over again where they bring this, like, psychological aspect into it. Like, there's one situation where somebody gets away from him because they sit there and stall, pretending to be his mother. They hit you with the typical serial killer stuff. Oh, he had an abusive mother growing up, and that's kind of like a sensitive spot. So if you just pretend to be her, you're gonna trip him up. But it does that way too often. I think they make his like OCD way too big of a point in the movie. It just feels like M. Night Shyamalan is just in the back behind the camera, and he's like, "Yep, that proves it. I know everything there is to know about serial killers. I could be a profiler myself. I think." Like he's so annoying. Like I said, the movie is still entertaining to watch because he just keeps getting out of these situations, and there's never one time in the movie where he actually does something to prove his intelligence. Like he never does anything that could actually work in real life whatsoever. He just keeps getting lucky, and it's so fun to watch. But it does get to a certain point in the movie where you have watched him get out of so many situations that he should have never gotten out of, that I'd say probably an hour in, maybe a little more than that, you're just kind of sitting there like, how many times are we going to watch this guy go? I know a lot of M. Night Shyamalan's movies have like a big twist at the end. This movie doesn't really have one. It just the twist is how he got caught, I get. Well, not caught, but the twist is how they knew he was going to be at the concert. That's the twist. There's no like big twist that's major to the plot. Everything that you're seeing is really happening. It's just the twist is basically just adding more to the story. It's not even, I wouldn't even really call it a twist. It's just, hey, this is how everything has gotten to this point. It's a flashback, basically. It's not actually a flashback. It's just dialogue, but they explain the events that took place before the movie started. Overall, I think I'd give the movie probably a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's decent to watch, I guess. The concept is really cool, like this man being stuck in a situation that he needs to find a way out of, and everyone in the building is looking for him. That's amazing, and it probably would have worked if someone other than M. Night Shyamalan could have come up with it, and if they would have hired some other actor. And I keep blaming the actor, and I'm sorry if you're an actual good actor, but man, this movie makes you look bad, buddy. And that reminds me, M. Night, I think at this point in your career, buddy, you should just make one good movie. And I know that's hard. I know. But if you can manage to do it, if you can get one more movie out that people like, stop after that. Because it was a fluke. We can clearly see by like your past 4 movies. This one, I think it was The Watchers, Knock at the Cabin, and Old. Not a good look. So if you do manage to get a good one out, it was an accident, obviously. So go out on top. Just stop. But that's all I wanted to say. The movie was really fun to watch because of how just goofy it was, and I wanted to talk about it as soon as I got home. I actually planned on making a video on the 2 new Dexter spinoffs that are about to come. So I'll make a video on that tomorrow probably. But that's it. See you. Thank you.